Phoenix here, handing out the ultimate, if you will, awards for the season. I'm here because nobody else is able to do this. Definitely ain't gonna be you. You dirty, filthy, smelly Prem. I've probably only been watching one league. I'm here that I've watched every single league in almost all the competitions. So it puts me in the best possible position to be able to hand out these awards. We've been there from match day 1 until match day 38 and everything in between and everything after. Without further ado. Best goalkeeper of the season. Pretty easy one. Will obviously be Donnarumma from PSG. A lot of talk, a lot of questions about him prior, as always, from mostly dirty filter Premdas who don't even watch Donnarumma play week in, week out. He's had an unbelievable season and definitely the best goalkeeper. I've made a top 5 just to complete it. I put Alisson second. Missed a chunk of the season, but for me, he's still number 2. I put Svilar number 3 from Roma. Absolutely phenomenal. I put Raya number 4. And I put Oblak number 5. Obviously, keep in mind, this is across all competitions. And Raya done well in the Champions League as well for the most part. So that's why he's in. And Oblak, again, very consistent in the league and done reasonably well in the Champions League. Best defender of the season. Another PSG man. It is Achraf Hakimi. Outrageous footballer. Still in disbelief at what I seen on Saturday. The positions and the areas that he occupies. There's always talk again, mostly from Premtars thinking Trent this and La Liga Tars, Koundé this. And Hakimi is the best right back of the season, even in general football ability. And he's most definitely shown his qualities. I put Van Dijk number 2. I put Bastoni number 3. I put Nuno Mendes number 4. And I put Balde 5. 5 is debatable. I put 2 left backs in here. I believe Balde just had a Koundé. Koundé had a lot more consistency and played a lot more matches. But Balde for me was a huge difference maker for Barcelona. Van Dijk and Bastoni, the best 2 central defenders of the season. And of course, Nuno Mendes, best left back of the season. Best midfielder of the season. This will not be won by a Paris Saint-Germain player. It is Pedri for me. And there is no questions. I'm seeing certain individuals that will put Vitinha and whatnot. I'll be real with you guys. I got Vitinha number 3. Joao Neves has been better than Vitinha. If you watch football with your eyes, Neves is better than Vitinha. He does a lot more defensively, and he's definitely not far off him with the ball at his feet. I put Gravenberch number 4 and Caicedo number 5. Took up of my top 5 midfielders. Gravenberch just ahead of Caicedo. If we're talking Premier League only, I'd have Caicedo, but Gravenberch, phenomenal in the Champions League as well. Best forward of the season. Dembele. This was the toughest one for me, the toughest to hand out. I believe it has to be Dembele simply because of the fact that he turned up in 2025 and operated on a level at which there's no other player that has. Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world, but Ousmane Dembele had the best season. Of course, integral for the way PSG plays. And again, a player who, even though he has the numbers, you got to go beyond the numbers to well and truly see the effect that he had. You watch the way he terrorized Arsenal, especially the positions he occupied. And then, of course, same thing in the Champions League final. Didn't get a goal. I don't think he even got an assist. But it's those pre-assists that don't count, that make all the move flow. Yamal second. I put Rafinha third. Salah fourth. And Mbappe fifth. The only debate I see here was Rafinha, Salah, which order to put them in. Then you could argue Gaio Keres or Lisey could have been knocking on the door. But again, I don't see. Some would argue Salah ahead of Rafinha. Not for me. Rafinha with the most goals in the Champions League, the most assists in the Champions League. Speaking of which, I seen the Champions League awarding Desiree Doué, if I seen it correctly, as the best young player of the season ahead of Lamine Yamal. This is what I just don't understand, and what I mean, like why I have to be the one that hands out these awards, because it's just ridiculously confusing what criteria they use. You can't just judge the players based only on what they want. You have to factor what they're doing on the pitch. There is no way anybody can tell me Desiree Doué was better than Lamine Yamal. Desiree Doué, you know what the truth is? Doué was wasteful against Inter. Doué this, Doué that. He was up against the Malcolm and he was wasteful. He was still wasteful. He should have been even more, but he was wasteful. He got a lucky deflected goal. Please, man, watch with your eyes. Fantastic player, but watch with your eyes. And Mbappe getting disrespected, by the way. He's obviously in the top 5. Has to be. Best player of the season. Dembele again. Just ahead of Lamine Yamal. I got Petri number 3. I got Rafinha number 4. I got Mo Salah number 5. But watch out. There's still the Club World Cup left. And that could have a huge effect over the ranking. Still, Barca fans are bringing up Nations League. There is nothing that Lamine Yamal can do to overtake Dembele. The only thing that can somewhat change is if Real Madrid win the Club World Cup, France win the Nations League, can somehow Mbappe get in? I don't think so still. Maybe he can get in there. But Dembele, to me, looks like he's going to wrap up the best player of the season and the Ballon d'Or. Manager of the season. Of course, Luis Enrique, who is getting a little bit overrated now because at the end of the day, yeah, we've seen with Luis Enrique. When he has the squad that he wants, it's exceptional. When he hasn't, we've seen how that's gone. Let's not forget about when the midfield began aging for Barcelona, the MSN team, they began going down. With Spain, tick-tack, 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 but nobody to do anything, so ineffective. But Elas, definitely manager of the season and completely outclassed Simone Inzaghi in the final. I put Hansi Flick too. Pretty self-explanatory. Gave us some of the most entertaining football that we have seen. Conte number 3. Easily. Nuno number 4, no doubt about it. Number 5 was a bit of a debate, but I went with the Glasner. I mean, winning the FA Cup is an incredible achievement, and it's been consistent work now for him over at Palace. So I think this top 5, I'm happy with it, but I can hear opinions about number 5 if you want to sneak anybody else. But top 3, top 4, undisputed. Signing of the season. Olise, for me. We're talking about like just for the season, not for the future, like what they've done for their club. I don't think you guys realize just how good he has been for Bayern Munich if you're not watching them. Without Olise, they're not winning the title. They're not getting as far as they did in the Champions League. He was alongside Kimmich and to some lesser degree Harry Kane, 3 pivotal players, because everybody else did not turn up this year, right, for Bayern Munich. They had big problems, but what a spectacular signing he was. I put Neves 2. I put McTominay 3, for obvious reasons. Mbappe 4. And Desiree Doué at number 5. Doué one, like I said, it's getting a bit overrated because people put him higher. But if we're talking only for now this season, if we're talking in the future, then of course it's looking like it'll be probably the signing of the season, or the signing of the, let's say, decade. But if we're talking only this season, Doué number 5. Worst signing of the season. Let's get into the fun stuff. Poop miners, by far and away. Another Juventus player at number 2, Merino 3, Taremi 4, and I put Pedro Neto 5. My logic for why I put Coop Miners number 1 is because of what was expected from him. He was the guy that I think was brought in to be a leader of that Juventus midfield, to score goals, to assist. It's been anything but. Douglas Luiz also came in with very high expectations, barely even played. Merino, same thing. He came in with high expectations, didn't deliver whatsoever. Taremi's only 4 simply because there was not as much expected from him, and he was not an out-and-out starter. But having said that, get the hell out of my freaking club. And Pedro Neto, for 60, 70 million, I expected so much more. Flop of the season. Vinicius Jr. Wow. Finally, people have been seeing what I have been saying for years and years. The most overrated footballer the world has ever seen enters into the flop of the season. Congratulations, Vinny. Enjoy the award, because it may be the only award you're getting anytime soon with the way you're playing. Foden number 2, I went all Premier League here. Garnacho number 3. Garnacho, not much expectations, but he's so bad that he has to be in here. Son 4, Højlund 5. So all Premier League to cap off the flops of the season. Some lucky to miss out. Leao, Theo Hernandez in particular for Milan. Vlahovic also could have been in this, but I went all Premier League. Worst manager of the season. Pretty easy award. However, what comes after is interesting. Ancelotti 2. He had the best team in the world, and he didn't deliver a single trophy. Embarrassing. Inzaghi number 3. Good riddance, you freaking loser. Get the hell out of my club. Thank you for absolutely nothing, you filthy, dirty coward. For this individual to have already made up his mind 2 months before, when we're fighting for the treble, that he's going to leave Inter, and it results in us not winning a single trophy, and that being the main reason, I will never, ever forgive him. He's a loser. I'm a winner. Automatically, there's no relationship. Get the hell out of the club. Conceição number 4. And Arteta, similar to Inzaghi and Ancelotti, yet again, unfortunately, for him and Arsenal, underachieving. Second for 3 years in a row. Seeing everybody else winning a trophy, it's going to hurt. It hurts a lot. Team of the season. Easiest team of the season, I don't see any debates. Donnarumma, Hakimi, Van Dijk, Bastoni, Nuno Mendes, as we explained earlier. Vitinha, Neves, and Pedri in midfield. Lamine Yamal on the right. Rafinha on the left. Dembele down the middle. I don't see any debates. Flop of the season. Onana in goal. Lucas Vazquez. Archie Gray, I'm sorry you're playing out of position, but dearie me. DeMarco, you dirty, filthy hobbit. Sure, he was good in the first half. In the second half, he has to get in here. Has to. I mean, shocking. Musa, how this man is a footballer playing for Milan, I will never understand. He wouldn't even start for any other team in Italy, much less for a club like Milan. Goretzka next to him, loser of a player. Garnacho and Vinny on the wings. Foden and Poop Miners in behind the lone striker, Rasmus Højlund. Biggest overachievers, Liverpool, like I mentioned in my Premier League video. How they've won the Premier League, I'll never ever know. With that team, with that manager. Congratulations, obviously. If you've watched the games, you'd know there was something sinister going on. But alas. Forest number 2, Napoli 3, Palace and Bologna round up my top 5 for winning trophies as well. Fantastic stuff to them. And Forest, of course, everybody had them going down. And they did not. Rather, they got European football. Biggest underachievers. Manchester United for obvious reasons. But, again, what is interesting to me is the following list. Arsenal number 2. Based on what they've spent, and losing the title to that Liverpool team, they got to be number 2. Real Madrid number 3, best team in the world, not winning anything, but at least to them they lost the title to a fantastic Barcelona team. Inter, who, yes, despite, again, not spending any money, when you're in with a chance to win the treble and you don't, yeah, of course, we're in this list. And Milan rounding off the top 5, who began the season with aspirations to win the league, end up getting sent packing by Feyenoord in the Champions League, as well as finishing 8th, and no European football for them. Astonishing failure. Game of the season. Tie of the season. It obviously meant nothing at the end, but privileged to have watched that game. Best individual performance of the season. Alisson against Paris Saint-Germain. If it wasn't for him, it would have been 7-8-0 that day. But because of him, they even ended up winning that game. And obviously it gave that false hope to Liverpool fans into thinking that they were going to pull it off. But in reality, there was never any conversation. That's where it stops. There's no funniest moment. There's no nothing. It's been a disgustingly horrific season of football. One of which I'm still recovering from and will probably still take me a lot to recover from.